All right, so Jason G catches it in the post, and a double team's coming, okay? It's coming from right here. Now, again, Jalen needs to be seeing this. First of all, he should be immediately at the tip of the three-point line so you can be as dangerous as possible right here. Okay, and look, once you see your man go to double like this, look, now Jalen's got to be gone already. Okay, it's taken him a little bit too long for him to actually cut. Now, he eventually cuts, but again, it's taken too long. See, if he the difference in a second or two of you cutting is the difference between Jalen catching the ball right here and catching the ball right here, okay? So if he's catching it right here, look, now you're just getting it, bang, and it's a layup, okay? But you catch it out here, you let the defense rotate, okay? And now you're just going to end up taking a floater that you don't get. So we don't want to dig until he puts the ball on the ground, right? Okay, look at this. Damian's digging. He hasn't put the ball on the floor yet, okay? But the problem is Cody's going to dig here. Look at this again. Ball isn't on the floor yet. Again, Cody, right idea, okay, but you just got to wait. Stay halfway. Once that ball gets put on the ground 1, 2 times, bang, right? Now we're digging and we're recovering back out. But when you dig before the ball's put on the ground, you're not accomplishing anything, okay? The dig is to get that dribble picked up early, but he hasn't picked up his dribble yet, okay? So now he's just going to kick it out to Cody's man, and it's going to lead to a catch-and-shoot three. All right, Damian, you're sticking around too long. Okay, again, like the idea here, right? Ball's on the ground, you dig. Okay, so this dig right here gets that dribble picked up. So right now, Damian's got to get back, right? You get the dribble picked up, you did your job. But Damian's not going to get back. He's going to stick around. Look at this. See how he's waiting, he's waiting. Instead of being at the three-point line, you're just doubling for absolutely no reason. So now your man's wide open in the corner, and it leads to a catch-and-shoot three. Okay, so first of all, Cody's digging too early here. It's 2 dribbles, right, before you start to dig. So he only puts the ball on the floor once, and Cody's digging. But the second thing is this is a little too much by Cody here. Again, just like being in the gaps defensively. You're halfway, okay? Cody's halfway. Look at that. Right at about the nail here, okay? So Cody doesn't have to move inward, right? All you got to do is just stunt and recover. That'll get that dribble picked up, right? Jab, recover. But Cody's going to lunge towards it. Look. Just like being in the gaps defensively, if you have to take steps inward, you're never going to get outward. But again, if Cody just jabs and then recovers, he's going to get out in plenty of time. Okay, but look at this. See how Cody takes steps inward unnecessarily? Look at that. See, so now he gets twisted around, and now he's lost. Now it's going to be difficult to get back out, so you get beat on a rip-and-go drive, and it's just a little floater. Too much space between the ball handler and the screener. Look at this. Jalen and Jason G are running this ball screen. Look at the space. Again, Jalen's got to come much tighter off this ball screen. He should be basically rubbing shoulders with Jason G, so it's much more difficult for this defender to fight over the top. And now this defender's behind the play, and now you can, well, I mean, the spacing is not good here with Damian just right in the middle of the floor here. You'd like for him to get more towards the three-point line, but you set up that little 2-on-1. It looks like Cornerstone might be in drop coverage here, okay, or they're hedging, whatever. But you want to make it. Look, when you have that space, it's way too easy for that defender to fight over the top of the screen. You want to force this defender to have to fight over the top, force this big to have to step up, and now you open up Jason G's role there. Okay, but with that much space, it's way too easy for that defender to fight over the top, and then you take a pretty bad three and you don't score. If they go under and you're not taking a ball screen, not taking a jump shot here, coming off this, just twist. Look at this. They go under. Damian, look, boom, right into a second ball screen. They can't go under that second one, and now you either force a switch where you get Damian switched onto a guard, or you get him hedging, and this rolls open, whatever. Drop coverage, the rolls open, you create that 2-on-1. But look, you don't twist there. And now, again, you're just into regular one-on-one mode. You don't have a switch or anything, and you don't score. So we're hugging the three-point line now in the post. Okay, just get positioned where you're supposed to be. Look at this. See, Cody and Reed are both too close to the three-point line, right? Like right now, this ball's on the floor, okay? Cody, you got a chance. Just dig at it a little bit. Dig, recover. Reed, you're hugging the three-point line right here. If you get to right around right here, look, halfway, okay? Right? You can just kind of dig at it a little bit. Recover. Get that dribble picked up. Don't leave Matt on a total island. There's just no need to be hugging the three-point line like this because you're not going to give up threes if you're positioned properly. right? And you're able to get that post dig in there. But you can see you leave Matt on an island, and you just let that guy back him down, and it's just an easy little hole. What is Matt doing here? Okay, Cornerstone's in drop coverage right here. Okay, so this is basically a 2-on-1 with Jalen and Reed against this big dropping for Cornerstone. Okay, this player's behind the play. Matt, get wide. Why are you coming towards this ball screen? You're just clogging things up. All Jalen's got to do here is get downhill, okay? And on Reed's roll, you get this big to commit. And again, either Reed's roll is going to be wide open, right here, once that big commits, or this backside defender steps up and Lat's lift is open. Okay, or yes, then Lat's lift's open. But look, Matt is coming towards this ball screen, so now Jalen has no room to attack downhill and get this big to commit. So again, now you've got to reset your offense, and you're just right back to one-on-one. So Jalen's gambling here, okay? Right here, just let the ball go in the post, okay? Matt's doing a good job battling for ground, right? You got him bumped outside the block, okay? Let the ball go in the post here, okay? Once the ball's in the post, they put it on the ground, we're digging, right? We're halfway right here, so we can just jab and recover. Everyone's halfway here, halfway here, halfway here, and we're digging, right? We're not leaving Matt on an island to go one-on-one. We're going to get that dribble picked up early, recover. But look at Jalen. Jalen's trying to not deny this entry to the post, so look at how far backed up he is. So now you're just giving up an open three. So this is great, okay? You throw the ball into the post and look at the post digs. All right, now look at the digs. Look, we're not leaving Matt on an island here, right? Look at balls on the floor. Reed's digging, okay, and that dribble's picked up. Now my one quibble here, I like that Latz is halfway, but Latz, you do not need to jump here, okay, to try and get this ball. That's gambling, right? Dribble's picked up, just get out to the three-point line. Do not try and get a steal. Look at Latz. Look how he's going to try and jump here. That little jump is going to allow this player for Cornerstone to beat him on a rip-and-go drive. And now Matt's got to step up and help, okay? But he ends up missing the jumper. But it was a great post dig, but Latz, don't jump at that ball, right? Just get right back out. Here, let's look at Matt right here, okay? What is Matt doing? All right, let's zoom in. Look at how long he's not seeing his man for again. Look at this, 1,000, 1,000. So now you're lost back door. And the issue with that is that now he's going to let his man, look at the separation here between Matt and his man. Now look at how low you're allowing him to catch this ball. He's almost in the charge circle. So you're putting yourself in a really bad spot there defensively. Again, if you're seeing, wait, head on a swivel, you're seeing ball, you're seeing man, you're not taking your eye off either for more than a second. Now when your man cuts through, you're staying with him. And now you can battle for ground and bump him out of here. Okay, now he's catching it outside the block. So that's mistake number one. Mistake number two is if someone's got to dig, right? No one's halfway. Everyone's hugging their man. I mean, look at Reed. Look at everyone's hugging their man. Now you're leaving Matt on an island. There's no post dig here, right? I mean, stunt, recover. So now Matt is just going to get back down, and by this point it's over. It's just going to be a little jumper there. But Matt put himself in a bad spot by not seeing his man, and he wasn't able to bump him off his spot in the post. It's too easy for Cornerstone to switch this ball screen here. Look at this. We either don't want Latz in this ball screen, okay, or we don't want Matt as the screener. We want Reed as the screener because Cornerstone's just going to switch this ball screen, and it's two like-sized defenders, so it's just we haven't created a mismatch there. Okay, so the best thing would be for Jalen to be the ball handler coming off the ball screen because now if they switch this guard onto Matt, we can take advantage of that. Or if Matt can't take advantage of that, then he can't be the screener. Then we'll have Reed set the ball screen so that he gets switched onto a guard if Cornerstone switches. Because if you run a ball screen and they switch and you haven't created a mismatch out of it, well, then there was no point of running the ball screen. We can have Latz space to the weak side of the floor, and if we want to create a look for him, we can get him open if his man's in backside help or cutting, whatever. But again, it's too easy for Cornerstone to switch that ball screen. So again, you got to reset your offense, and you're going to eventually end up turning it over and not getting what you could have out of that. Okay, so now look, you run this ball screen, Cornerstone can't switch. Now, first of all, Elwood's got to at least look for Damian here, okay? Like another dribble here to drag this defender, and now, right, Damian's roll, we can either hit him with a pocket pass or he draws this backside defender and the lift's open, but we still have a great opening here. Look at this. You hit Cody right here. So, I mean, this ball, Cody, you cannot be looking to score. okay? Like, this has got to be right to Jared. Jared is wide open, right? His man is all the way here in backside help. Get this ball over to Jared. Okay, but Cody's looking to score one-on-one, and he's going to end up turning it over, and you don't get that wide open look. Definitely want to cut here. Look at Cody. He's going to blow by his man and get into the lane. So look at Jared. Cornerstone got cross-matched here, but this was Jared's man, and he's going to step up and help. I mean, clearly, Cody's got his man totally beat. Jared, you got to be seeing that, right? So now you're getting ready to cut, right? So now when Cody steps up here, boom, he's just hitting you right here for a layup, okay? And again, if your cut isn't there, it's because this defender went with you. So the same shot that we're about to get is still going to be there, and it's just going to be more open. Now Elwood's wide open for three, and that's where Cody can go. But Jared just stands at the three-point line, so now you let the defense rotate out, and you take a contested three, miss, and don't score. Out of a baseline, out of bounds. This is, first of all, this is an unnecessary switch. This is basic cross screen. Cody's got to be seeing this. This is out of a baseline, out of bounds. Okay? And look, you're just attached. Right here, you're getting, like right here, you're staying attached to your man as he sets the screen. Right now, you can't sag. You're up, you're attached, and you're just jamming this player as he comes through. So Elwood can easily get on the other side. But look when you switch. If you're a beat off, and that's all it takes, look at this switch. You botched this switch. Now we got two people going towards one. So Elwood now is going to be, I mean, he's not even close to being with this player here. So now off this down screen, instead of just being able to chase and having Damian show, you got to switch this down screen. And what does that do? That puts Reed now on this guard. And now Elwood has got to take the big, and now it's just going to be way too easy for him to get an offensive rebound. Look, he's just jumping right over Elwood there. Okay, so now Reed is a back, now Reed, look, now Reed's got to guard this guard on the perimeter, and that's no good. So now this guard's going to get past Reed, and he's going to the line, and it's two shots. Okay, first of all, this is great ball screen defense right here. Look at Matt. Look at how he's going to jam the screener right here with his body. Jam the screener with his body, and look at, you're not giving up open threes. Jam the screener with your body. Jalen's coming through. Okay, you give him a much easier path to come through. Now, here's where the problems start. Look at Latz. This can never, ever happen. Look at his back. Got his back turned to the ball. Right now, your back is what? To the basket, right? You're seeing ball. You're seeing man, okay? And then you're in the gaps. Like right here, look at this. You're hugging the three-point line. Again, get down to right about here, back to the baseline, and then look. Now there's no place for this player can't go towards the middle of the floor, right? You don't have to move. You just jab and recover, and you'll easily get out to the three-point line, okay? But Latz turns his back to the ball, isn't in the gaps defensively, okay? So now this player does have the middle of the floor, and it's just a little jumper there. Oh, my, if Cody just engages this big, it's 2 points. Look at this, Cody. You got room, okay? Get downhill. Just attack this big. Reed's wide open. Now, again, when this ball screen's getting set, it'd be really nice if Cody waited for Jalen to get more to the weak side of the floor so this defender isn't so close to the ball screen. But that's really not an excuse because Cody's still, oh, no, look at this. It is 1 to 2 dribbles in this way. Now this defender has to step up, and Reed's role is wide open, right? Wide open. And that's either a layup there or this defender's going to scramble here, and now the dunker spot's wide open. Okay, but Cody pulls his dribble back, so now look, now this defender doesn't have to step up to the ball. He can go back to Reed, and now you got to reset. Okay, so Jalen's got to do a better job of paying attention. He's doing a little too much ball watching here. Okay, again, it's ball you man. You're not taking your eye off either for a second. Okay, because look what happens here. Jalen's looking at the ball, and he's letting his man get behind him. You never want to allow that right here, right? You want to be level with your man, right? Level with your man with your back to the basket. Right? Because look what happens when you're ball watching and it doesn't take much. But look at what happens here. You allow your man to get behind you, so what does that do? Now that allows your man to seal you. See how Jalen's sealed off now? If he's staying level to his man, right? Okay, with his back to the baseline, you don't let yourself get sealed like that. Okay, but he's ball watching, so now his man gets behind him right here. Okay, and look, now you get sealed, okay, and now Cornerstone's in the bonus, so this ends up being a 1-and-1 because you allowed yourself to get sealed like that. Okay, so you run this empty side ball screen, Cody, and I can't tell if Cornerstone, it looks like Cornerstone would be switching this ball screen, but Cody, you got to attack downhill to drag this big. When you stop your dribble, you let Cornerstone switch back. See how they're switching back? Now, again, obviously, if they were hedging, you, of course, need to drag this big because you want to keep two at the ball and open up Jason G's role. But I think Cornerstone was switching this. And, again, you can't stop this way, right? You want to attack downhill this way because now Cornerstone can't switch back. And now we can ISO that mismatch down low, Jason G on a guard. But Cody stops his dribble. So now, look, now Cornerstone's able to switch back. Okay, and we've lost that advantage. And now Jason G's going in the post against a big, and he doesn't get anything. So this is pretty good right here, right? They throw the ball into the post. We're not leaving Matt on an island. Now look at Jalen. Look at how Jalen's dropping. Great stuff, right? Jalen drops. Now look at this. So Jalen digs. We don't need two people digging. Lats, again, Jalen, look at, he digs and he recovers. But Lats, you don't need to be digging. If Jalen's digging, stay out here. But look, Lats is digging at nothing. This dribble's picked up. Jalen did a great job, and the dribble's picked up. Lats, you're not digging at anything. Okay, you're just gambling and trying to get a steal. Now, again, Cornerstone doesn't make you pay here, but again, that could have been trouble. But Jalen with a great job digging in the post so that Matt's not left on an island there. Look at if Jalen doesn't stand here. Okay, Jason G's got his man sealed down low. Look at Jalen's man right here in backside help. So if look at how Jalen's all the way out here behind the three-point line. I'm already up right at the tip of the three-point line, so I can be dangerous, right? And now look, now when you see this player come here, look, go, cut, okay? Because look, either we're able to hit you with a pass right here, and again, the guards here's reaction time. You're probably just going to catch it and get right into the lane for a layup. But, if not, then look, now Jason G can just come over here and we can throw it over the top there, or your cut forces this defender to have to back off, and now this entry pass is easy to make and we get easy looks. But look, when you stand all the way out here, you allow your man to just do whatever he wants, but look at this. I mean, this is insane. You allow your man to do whatever he wants in backside help and then recover, and you don't make him pay for it. Either Jalen's got to get wide here, Jalen's got to cut here. Okay, so you run this ball screen, right, and Cornerstone's in drop coverage. They drop the big, okay, and they fight over the top. So again, Cody, we either have a 2-on-1 here between Cody and Jason G against this big for Cornerstone, okay? So that means Cody that should be waiting for Jalen to get wide. So his defender has to get wide and out of the play. Because see, look at this. Cody should be attacking downhill here, but he can't because Jalen's man's right there in the gaps. And again, now you set up this little 2-on-1 between Cody, Jason G, and this big for Cornerstone dropping. Now, if Jalen wants to get close to this ball screen, well, then you better be cutting. Look at this. Look at how far behind the three-point line Jalen is. Get up here so you can be a playmaker. You can be dangerous, right? And now you see your man stepping up in the gap. Boom, now we can give it to you, and you're gone in the lane. But again, you stand all the way out here. So you clog the ball screen, okay? 2, you're all the way out here, so you're not going to make your defender pay for being all the way here helping with Cornerstone being in drop coverage. So again, now you've just, all those advantages we don't have now because of what Jalen was, and you end up getting nothing out of it. So you just can't let him split this trap here. Look at this. Jared is angling him towards the sideline. But if you're angling him to the sideline with no second defender here, you're not doing anything. He's just going to be able to come right through here. Okay? So either there's a second defender coming much sooner, or Jared just got to play him straight up one-on-one. See, look what happens here. There's no second defender until now, and Cody's off balance here anyways. So again, now you've just let this player for Cornerstone split through. And now the problem is now your defense is scrambling here. Okay, now Jared is going to be stuck having to guard a big for Cornerstone. And that's an issue because now we've got to send help over the top here eventually. See, Jared's doing doing his best defending this big right here. But you can see right now, Reed has got to now be cognizant of Jared on this big because, he's fronting the big. You can't allow this pass over the top to get made or it's a layup. So now Reed's got to stay here in backside help. And, oh, by the way, we have Reed now guarding Cornerstone's point guard. So we're just out of whack matchup-wise, and it all stems back to just allowing that guard to split through like that so easily. And now look, now Reed's got to guard this guard, and he plays off him, and he gives up a 3. Again, way too much space here. Look at the space between Jared and Reed here. Again, cornerstones and drop coverage. So with an empty side ball screen, now you really have a 2-on-1. I mean, look at this. If Jared just comes shoulder to shoulder off Reed coming off this ball screen, now Jared's in the lane. This player's got to fight over the top, and now you have a 2-on-1, right? It's Jared, it's Reed, and it's this big for Cornerstone. And Jared, all he's got to do is just attack, get this big to commit, and now Reed's going to be wide open here, and it should be an easy 2. But look at all this space. You make it way too easy for this player for Cornerstone to fight over the top, and now you've got to end up resetting your offense. So Cody's just guarding air here. Now, again, Jared is angling him to the sideline with no second defender right here. See, Cody, if you're just guarding air, we're in a lot of trouble here, okay? Because now you might as well just trap, because once they pass over the top here, once they pass over the top of you here, we're in trouble, right? Because now Reed's got to step up there, and there's a Cornerstone player that you can't see in the picture is going to be open for a layup. Okay, so Cody, either you can drop here, right, and then Jared doesn't need to angle him to the sideline anymore, or get up here, okay, trap, and now we're going to deny everyone one pass away, and Reed can kind of be this last line of defense right here guarding 2 passes away, and this pass becomes a lot more difficult to make. So that's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 is I mean, you're already in trouble here because, look, I mean, once this player catches this, it's going to be just right here for a dunk. But, you can maybe give yourself a chance to get back, but Reed's going to gamble here. I mean, if this is not a guaranteed steal and you gamble like this, we're in trouble. Because now, look, now we're beat with all sorts of numbers, and you give up an easy little shot at the rim there, so multiple mistakes. Great spacing, right? Empty side ball screen, okay? Empty out the strong side of the floor, so Jared, if he refuses this ball screen, is going to get right to the lane. Now, right here, textbook, right? Reed, you got to be seeing your man's helping, and you've got to cut hard, okay? And you want to seal off this defender that you occupy so that we can just drop it to you for a layup. Because honestly, the more you cut, okay, if you're not open, that just means the more open Jalen's going to be. Now, Reed doesn't do a great job of cutting. He could have easily, I think, gotten on the inside hip and sealed off that defender for a layup there. Okay, but again, execution's still pretty good. You still get an open catch-and-shoot 3 with Jalen. You don't know. So Matt does a great job jamming the screener here, but the issue is look at this. There's no need for Jalen to go under here. I mean, if there's this much space, Jalen's got to stay up, right? I mean, you don't need to go under this ball screen. Look at how much space. Why is Jalen going under? I mean, they just stay up, okay? Just stay up. And by the way, the more that you stay up here, okay, the higher this screener has to get, which means that if you eventually do need to go under, you're going to get on the other side and you're not going to give up an open 3. But Jalen's really going under here when he doesn't have to at all. So now look, now he does have, I mean, Matt's doing a good job jamming the screener, right? But Jalen is going under when he doesn't have to. So now look, now Matt feels like he's got to come out to contest. And when that happens, look, now Cody's got to box out Matt's guy. So there's just numbers. There's no one to box out Cody's guy. And it's going to lead to a putback there. So a little out of control here, pressing, because it's going to force, I mean, the defense is going to end up scrambling, and it's going to force a switch right here. I mean, look at this. Jalen now has to take Matt's man, a big, and Matt has to take Jalen's man, a guard. But really the issue here is that, look, I mean, Jared gets screened. It's not much of a screen. It's just a little, it's not much of a screen, but again, it's enough for Jared to get knocked off balance just a little bit, and that's all it takes for this guard for Cornerstone to get into the lane. Like right here, what is Jalen doing? You see your man setting a screen. I mean, again, the fact that this is Jared and Jalen means just switch. Have Jalen come up and take the guard here. But Jared, gets screened, not much, but screened enough for him to knock himself off out of position, and now he's forced to foul, and Cornerstone goes to the line. Again, too much space. Look at this. Screener, ball handler, way too much space. Cornerstone's in drop coverage. Jalen should be rubbing shoulders with Jason G, right? So now you're creating this little 2-on-1. I mean, the spacing is Matt could definitely get wider here. But again, force this big to have to go towards the ball, and let's see what Jason G's role can open up, right? Let's have this guard be behind the play, fighting over the top. But again, you have this much space between the ball handler and the screener. Now look, now this big, you don't force this big to have to go towards the ball. Now this guard can just stay with Jalen here. And again, now it's just one-on-one for everyone, okay? And you can see you eventually just take that and you get nothing. Okay, so Jalen right here, first of all, you're dropping too much. Like, look at this. He hasn't put the ball on the floor yet. We don't need to drop this far before the ball gets put on the ground, right? The dig comes when the ball's on the ground. Now, when he turns middle here, okay, first of all, we want him to take 2 dribbles before we dig, right? But now when he turns middle here, this is Cody's area, and Cody's doing a great job, right? Cody's right here. He's stunting and getting this dribble picked up, and he's able to go out. Jalen, this is no longer Jalen's area right here. Okay, so him going towards the ball is unnecessary because, again, this is now Cody's area. This is where we want Cody to dig, right? And he's doing a good job of it. So Jalen just needs to stay, back. You can stay halfway still, okay, but you don't need to be going towards the ball. This is Cody's dig. We don't need 2 people digging. And Jalen's unnecessarily just in no man's land, and it gives up an open 3. All right, we got a cross screen. Now, Latz has got to jam this player coming through, right? Cross screen gets set right here, okay? You're jamming him as he comes through because it makes it a lot easier for Jason G here to battle for post position early, okay? Like right now, he's just set up to pretty low right here. Look where he's catching this ball, okay? If you jam this player as he comes through here, right? Look at this. You jam him off his spot right here. He's catching this ball much further away. But now look, I mean, Jason G is trying to get back into the play here off that cross screen. And again, he's just catching the ball a little too low there, so we don't even have a chance to dig in the post here. And look, all he's got to do is take 1 dribble, turn, and it's just a little hook for 2. Cannot lean before the screen gets set. Look at this. You anticipate and try and cheat this screen. You allow this ball handler to just refuse it, right? You can't start fighting over the top of a screen or whatever your ball screen defense is, okay, until the screen gets set and the guard actually comes off of it. Because when you start to cheat the screen, now look, now the guard refuses the screen, draws help, and it leads to a wide open catch and shoot 3. Okay, so Elwood, with Cornerstone icing this screen, you just cannot be on the strong side corner right there. You got to get to the weak side because, again, look at how open. I mean, all we got to do is have Jalen drag this big and Jason G's rolls open, right? Okay, but there's no space for him here to drag this big because we got a defender in the corner here, okay, in the gaps defensively. So now you got to pull the dribble back and reset the offense. Now, the other thing here, and again, now so you get an open 3 out of this, okay, and you hit it. But again, this is a lot higher percentage of a look of when Latz blows by his man. Look at Damian. See, I mean, he not only is he not only is he not cutting, he's not just standing, he's fading to the 3-point line. Damian, again, ball you man on offense. Let's look at this. I'm seeing my man's in backside help, and boom, I'm flashing to this, diving to this open spot right here. So Latz can just, boom, drop it off here, and it's a dunk. Okay, but when you just stand, look at this. Now you let the defense rotate out of it. Now you end up getting an open 3, okay, that you hit. But again, a wide open dunk is a lot, better than a catch and shoot Jalen 3. Okay, so Elwood here is gambling. Okay, and also look, so the ball's in the post. All right, you want to drop halfway. Certainly want to drop halfway. There's no need to hug the 3-point line. But 1, you're not digging in the post until 2 dribbles. Okay, Elwood's digging here after 1 dribble. And the second thing is this is unnecessary. Look at this. Elwood, this is great positioning. Okay? All you've got to do now is just jab. You don't have to move. Jab, recover. If you have to take a step in, you're never going to be able to go out. But Elwood is positioned perfectly here. He doesn't have to move, okay? So we can just kind of jab to get that dribble pick up. Just kind of jab at it, right? Okay? Dribble's picked up. You did your job. You're not trying to get a steal. You're not gambling, right? It's not jab and gamble. It's jab and recover, okay? But look at Elwood here. See how he's gambling here. He's trying to get a steal. He's taking his body inward. Okay, he's taking a step inward. You're never going to get outward now, and you give up an open catch and shoot three. Same exact thing. Throw the ball into the post. Now Elwood drops, okay? So this is good. This is good positioning right here, okay? You don't need to hug the three-point line, right? You can get halfway, okay? But again, I mean, this is a replay of the last play, okay? Elwood, right? We're not digging until 2 dribbles, right? So he takes 1 dribble and you dig, okay? And so catch and shoot 3. But again, Elwood moves inward. You don't, that's unnecessary, okay? You drop, you're halfway. All you got to do is just kind of jab at it, right? Jab at it without moving inward. But again, we'll zoom in. Look at how Elwood has to take a step in. See that move inward? Whenever you have to take a step inward like that, you're never going to get back out. So again, you dig after 1 dribble, but also this is just, again, Elwood right here. You don't have to just jab at it, right? You kind of just jab at it with your body, right, to get that dribble picked up, okay? You can kind of slap at it, whatever. You can do whatever you want as long as you don't do what Elwood does here, which is, again, take that, see that hop step inward? Forget it. You're never going to get back outward then, and so it gives up a 3. So this is there, all right? Look at this. Jalen and Damian run this empty side ball screen. So right here, if you're Damian, I mean, this pass is doable. I mean, I guess Damian can, seal this backside defender here, but how is Jalen not just I mean, Jalen's turned the corner here. How is Jalen not making this wraparound, this bounce pass right here to Damian? I mean, again, Damian, you got a defender. I mean, maybe you can get a wide base and seal right here. You don't think you really have to do that. You want to make sure this defender doesn't get on your inside hip. So sure, you can seal here, but I mean, Jalen, you got to make this pass. I mean, this is an easy, you turn the corner, this bounce pass is there. This is Damian catch, dunk. But Jalen, for some reason, doesn't make this. Look at this. I mean, it's still there. Wraparound bounce pass. Whatever. Get this ball to Damian. It's a dunk. But instead, you throw it to Latz, who isn't open, and, you don't end up with anything. So right here, sloppy ball screen defense right here. Again, Jason G, if you're hedging, don't sag, get up, stop this ball handler's dribble out here, okay? But number 2 is okay, we need backside help. You cannot ask Jason G to go towards the ball and then recover back to the three-point line. Elwood cannot be getting posted up right now. Okay, Elwood, you got to see that a ball screen's being set right here and right now work to get on this player's outside hip right here. Okay, so that right now, look at this right here. You're on his outside hip. So you can just, when this pass is made right now, look at this. You can just kind of jab at this, okay, and recover. All right, that's all you got to do is just you're on his outside hip. And when this pass is made, you're just stunting and recovering just to give Jason G an extra second to get back. Because there's no way without any backside help he's going to be able to just recover onto here, without you stunting at that a little bit. But there's no backside help whatsoever, so it's just an open pick and pop 3. And this is beautiful. You just got to finish. Look at this empty side ball screen. You got Cornerstone and drop coverage. Look what Cody does. Comes off of it. Look at, he gets this big to commit. This is a 2-on-1, right? Cody, Reed against this big dropping. This player's behind the play. So Cody gets him to commit, and now Reed's wide open. Now, okay, so of course, we could be using some cutting action right here. Look at this. Like right now, Jalen, you should be gone, right? Okay? And then now again, this is a dunk. Okay? Reed should be just finishing this. But let's have let's just be in the mindset of cutting. Nothing bad happens by you cutting. Okay? So maybe if Reed sees you in the corner of his eye, I'll drop it to you for a wide open layup. But I mean, again, this is a dunk that Reed's got to finish, and he doesn't. So the spacing, Cody's execution was great. You just got to hammer that home. Empty side ball screen, right? Reed sets the ball screen. Now, normally, the guard, you never pull your dribble back here, right? You want to attack downhill off this big's hip and then open Reed's roll up, and, that should be open, and then you create the numbers advantage or you create something open for Reed himself. But you pull your dribble back, but look what happens. I mean, I don't know if this was planned or not, but look at Reed. He's going to get right into a second ball screen. And look what this second ball screen does. It draws a little bit of help right here. And then What does Jared do? Does Jared stand? No, he does not. He cuts into that open space right there, so that second ball screen opens things up for Jared, who draws help himself to a Reed dunk. My goodness, is that beautiful. So on this press, again, it's either Jared can defend one-on-one, okay, and Matt goes down, or if Matt goes up to the ball, you got to rotate to one pass away. You cannot, look at this. This is a trap, essentially. It's not a very good trap because neither Jared or Matt are really getting up on the ball, but you can't you can't have two players guard the ball, which is a trap, and not have someone rotate to one pass away. It's just way too easy for this player to see he's being met with two defenders and just to pass out of it. You got to rotate up to one pass away, right? You can't lead that. And again, when two people go towards the ball and you just make it so easy to pass out of, now you're in trouble. Look, now Cornerstone's got a 3-on-2, okay, and they're off to the races, and it's going to lead to a two-shot foul. The great part about empty side ball screens now, Cody's supposed to be coming off of two ball screens, but again, the fact that you've emptied out the strong side of the floor, look what this allows. Now when this defender leans one way, Cody can just refuse the screen and get right to the lane. Now, again, this is a layup Cody's got to finish, but also, how much easier is this layup again? Let's look at Jared's man. Look at Jared's man right here. Okay, Jared, you're seeing all this, of course. Okay, and when you see your man step up, just dive to this open space. The worst thing that happens is you're in phenomenal offensive rebounding position. Or when Cody sees your defender right here and you've stepped up, now we're just wrapping it around to you for a layup. Now Cody should make this layup still, okay? But the spacing though, with the way the ball screen, with the way you empty the strong side of the floor out, is you also give yourself a great chance to refuse the screen if they start leaning, and then you get right to the lane. You just got to finish. Can't get caught ball watching in transition, Matt. Look at this. So right now, we're seeing Matt right here. Okay, look at how he's studying the ball for way too long. Okay, again, head on a swivel. You're always seeing ball and man for no more than 1 second on each. Okay, but Matt is going to get lost because he's just studying the ball for too long. So now look, because he's not seeing his man, he's going this way and his man's going this way. So that's really what happens there. Okay, but the other thing is we got a down screen coming. Jason G's not showing like he's supposed to. And Matt, when he finally realizes he's got to come off this down screen, is going to go up the gut as opposed to chasing. So all sorts of bad things, or all sorts of mistakes happen, and that's why you give up 3 points there. Too much space again. Look at this ball screen getting set. Okay, look at the space here between Jalen and Jason G, the ball handler and screener. Right? Cornerstone's in drop coverage. So Jalen's just got to be coming shoulder to shoulder off this ball screen with Jason G. Because the more space you give, of course, the easier it is for this guard to fight over the top of the screen. Okay? And now if you run shoulder to shoulder with them, now you create that 2-on-1 we've seen, right? Between Jalen, Jason G against this big dropping. The guard is then behind the play. But with that much space, look at how much easier it is for that guard to fight over the top. So now you don't get that 2-on-1, and you end up not getting anything. So this is sort of an empty side ball screen. But look, so Cornerstone is in drop coverage again, right? Okay, they're trying to fight over the top of the screen, and they're going to drop the big. So what does Cody do? Cody just attacks hard downhill off this big's hip. And you make this big make a choice here. I mean, either this big can stay towards the ball, and Jason G's roll is going to be wide open, or if the big goes with Jason G, which is what he does, Cody's going to be able to just get right to the rim, and it's going to be what? It's going to be an and one, and just really well executed. Okay, so Latz is going to be ball watching right here. Look, Latz's man is faking like he's going to set a flare screen. So right now you're calling this out, right? Flare, flare, flare. So Cody knows he's got to get up and over the top early. Okay, but you can't be just studying the ball. You've got, again, you're seeing ball, you're seeing man, you're not taking your eye off either for more than 1 second. Okay, because look what happens here. Latz, you got to be, look at your man slipping this screen now. You got to be going with him right now. You can't wait. And look at how long Latz waits to realize. I mean, look at this. His man's already just come off a dribble handoff from slipping that flare screen, and Latz has just started to recognize that and start to move up. And by then, forget about it. It's way too late, and it's 3 points. Take your eye off your man offensively. Ball you man on offense like defense. Look at this. Damian's going to catch the ball in the post. Now look at Jalen's man. He's not even looking. And look at Jalen's man right here, coming over to try and double here. Okay, so if Jalen's doing what he's supposed to do, like right now, he's obviously cutting, okay, into that charge circle. All right, because look what happens now. When Damian turns, you're in this charge circle. And again, you're either catching this for a layup or this Cornerstone defender has to go with you there, and now Jason G's wide open, right? But when you don't see what your man is doing offensively and see that your man is all the way over here and Jalen just stands all the way out here, you now let that player double the post, okay, rotate out with no way of hurting them for that, and you end up turning it over. So again, when Cornerstone ices this ball screen here, again, Damian, you see a ball screen getting set, get to the weak side of the floor. Cody, wait for him to get to the weak side of the floor because, again, they're icing the ball screen, so you need to have space to drag this big, right? Get this big, drag that big, okay? As long as you're attacking downhill, this big has to go towards the ball, and Jason G's rolls open, and then, all sorts of openings come from there. But again, Cody has no room to drag the big because Damian hasn't moved and gotten to the weak side of the floor, and Cody hasn't waited for him to get to the weak side of the floor, so there's no place to go, and you end up turning it over.